Okay, so now that you've transferred your images to Lightroom, your raw images, you want to just quickly choose the images that you are going to use for the GIF and then do some adjustments so that you like the way it looks. The ones that I'll be using, I can't maximize it. Oh, yes, I can. Let's make it smaller. We'll be starting from here. So I'm capturing the movement of milk that goes through this coffee, and it'll be about 13 images. So starting from there. So I'm just making sure that everything looks okay, and it does. Okay, so that's really good. Now, in terms of editing it, if you like the way you took the images, just keep it as it is. But if you want to make any tweaks, just do it on the last few ones first, because you want that end result to look really good. That's the image that you will most likely be lingering on. So I did some edits to the very last one and then transferred it to a few others to make sure that I like it, and I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste those settings to each of those pictures, because you don't want one to be more bright than the other or one to have more contrast than the other. If it's going to be a movie, everything needs to be continuous. Otherwise, it just looks really weird to have one image, one frame to look dull and lifeless and the other one to look more brighter and sharper. Okay, so very easy. All you do is you just pick the original picture that you made the adjustments to. Helps to go into develop, and then you just copy those settings. So Control-Shift-C, and I've chosen everything, so copy, and then you go to one that you haven't made any adjustments, and then you just paste. Excellent. So you just do that for all of the other pictures. Okay. Okay, so all the images have been edited. Now, if you've noticed, the actual glass is a little bit crooked. It's not straight, and this is really bugging it's the little OCD stuff, and I want to straighten it, but I'm not going to straighten it on Lightroom. The reason for this is because cropping, if you don't crop it properly, it can, even the smallest pixels that are off between each of the images are going to show up when you do the final GIF. So I'm going to do a collective crop on Photoshop when I'm actually making the GIF. So this is really good. Lightroom is really good to do any bulk or spot editing, like removing a spot or brightening up a different spot and the whole thing, but not to do things like cropping. Okay, just make sure that whatever adjustments you do are uniform throughout. Now it's time to transfer all those images and make them into JPEGs. When you're making JPEGs out of the raw ones, you want to keep them fairly small if you're only going to be using it for your GIF. I might sometimes use it as an image, as a standalone image on the post. In that case, I like to keep a higher quality or a larger image where the long edge is about 1500 pixels. But if you're only going to use it for a GIF, then you want to shorten it for a long image, about 650 pixels on the long edge. Okay, but I'll show you how to resize it on Photoshop as well. So I'm just going to keep it 1500, and we're going to transfer, and then I will show you how to edit it on Photoshop.